Shabbat Anag, which means Sabbath delight. I give praise and honor to the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai for allowing me a chance to make another video, another lesson, to give me the zeal and the understanding and the vision and the proper interpretation, and to share the calendar with you for giving me an accurate calendar. So let's look at it briefly. We have come into the Gentile month, August, and we're going to be ending the 5th month and going into the 6th Hebrew month. So we are here on the 2nd, which is the Shabbat, which happens to be the 3rd week of the 5th month of Kamayashe, and then we will go into the 6th month here on the 12th of August, which would be Al-Lawal, or as some of you call it, Elul. But we know that that term there is a corrupted Hebrew. So when you really dig down into it, this is the accurate way to say it and spell it. Lawal. So let's look at it a little bit more clearly here, because on the 30th of Kamayashe and the evening hour at 9:07, I shall be blowing the trumpet. And let's just count this here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days away. And that's important. 10 days away. Let's see what happens around this time, because see, I'm going to talk about a dream that I just had. I woke up this dream on the morning of the Shabbat today, and I cannot stress enough to my brethren. I had a dream briefly. I was just talking to some of my northern tribe brothers, Native American Indians, and I was discussing with them the importance that we as Israelites, which they knew, but they were not keeping the commandments. They were still failing in keeping the Shabbat. So I'm urging you all again, please, I implore you, it is very crucial that you keep the Shabbat. That is the 7th day, the holy day, every week. And it's going to be always on a Friday, as they call it, Friday sundown through Saturday sundown. Yes, you're keeping this yearly, annually, weekly. It is a commandment that was given to our forefathers and is vital for us to keep. So in my dream, I was expressing that to them, even coming to tears, that they keep this Shabbat holy. And how do you keep the Shabbat holy? Let's just briefly go over some things. To keep the Shabbat holy means you're not doing your own personal things. You're supposed to be resting today. You're not supposed to be going out walking your dogs, or going out to do grocery shopping, or going to cut your grass, or do any type of labor. No working. This is a day that you're supposed to be resting and reflecting upon your Creator and keeping it holy, because in 6 days He created heaven and earth, and on the 7th day He rested. And who do you think you are not to rest? You think you're greater than the Almighty? You think you could just continue and do what you want to do and don't care about how He set up a day that He made for you to take a day of rest and to remember Him and reverence Him and keep it holy? So in my dream, I was talking to these brothers, and it got to the point where the dream got so intense that it was bringing me to tears. I was crying to them, pleading with them, and I had to pull them aside because there was a panic. There was a large crowd of people running through the street, and we had to run and escape, and I had to pull them off to the side because of the destruction that was on its way. So yes, There is some chaotic times approaching. It is not the end, but let's just look at some scripture here that I have already reviewed before. I'll go over it again. This is the book of Daniel. We're going to look at chapter 11. And if you guys don't know this, this is referring to our time right now. And this is talking about this future leader of the world, which is known as the Antichrist. And this is what he's going to do. It says here, neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. But in his estate, let's look at that. In his estate, meaning in his land, in his secret strongholds, in his White House, in his Pentagon, he shall honor the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver and with precious stones and with pleasant things. See, you got to understand right here that this God of forces is referring to a God of military might, the military armed forces. The future dictator of the world is going to honor this God with financial power, meaning gold and silver and precious things. He's going to finance the military, space force, air force, navy, you name it, everything. He's going to pour it into this God of forces. And he's going to demonstrate his power throughout the whole world, because right now, America hasn't really done that to its full capacity, but they will. And we're going to see it take place. And it's going to cause a lot of panic. And people are going to be running and scared. And you're going to think that this is the end. And it's going to look very dire. But according to this prophecy, thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory, and he shall cause them to rule over many. This is referring to the generals. This is referring to his captains, the rich men who are all with this king. With that military might, he's going to cause them to rule over many and shall divide the land. That's the earth for gain. Meaning they're going to take the land. They're going to rule the world. It's going to be world domination under an American empire. And at the time of the end, now this is at the end time now. This is the end. This is when it comes to an end. At the very end shall the king of the south push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind with chariots and with horses, or horsemen, and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass over. Now, see, you got to realize that this king of the south, the north, this is this king. And he shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. And we're just going to skip right down here because this is important. He shall stretch forth his hand also upon the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. But he shall have power over the treasures of gold and of silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt. And the Libyans and the Ethiopians shall be at his steps. That means they're going to be allied with him. And we can already see this taking place right now. The whole part of Africa are going to have to be in submission to the beast and join in with them in this new world or order. But remember, this is all at the time of the end. And it says here, but tidings out of the east. Now that's referring to the eastern parts of the world. And out of the north, that's referring to the northern parts. Now this is when Russia is going to come in, shall trouble him. So see, he get troubled, meaning some tidings. In other words, news coming from this area, tidings, news, words coming from this area that something's taking place, and that's troubling him.
We have some breaking news from the president, who just announced he is repositioning nuclear submarines around Russia in response to what he called inflammatory statements from the former Russian president. Trump just...
But look what he does. Therefore, he shall go forth with great fury.
With fire and fury, like the world has never seen. Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury, like the world has never seen. He has been very threatening, beyond a normal statement. And as I said, they will be met with fire, fury, and frankly, power, the likes of which this world has never seen before. Thank you.
For he shall go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly to make away many. So you're going to see some crazy things taking place, and we're going to see American dominance stretch forth over this globe like never seen before. And what's going to end up happening? He shall plant his tabernacle of his palace between the sea and the glorious holy mountain. You gotta know what that is. That's referring to Jerusalem. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. You see, this is where it comes to an end, because this is where the Most High now, the God of creation, the King of terrors, comes into the picture and bring him to his end, because this man, with his God, his military God of forces, takes over the globe, and no one can stop him. Just from hearing some news about things happening in the east and in the north, he says, I'll go out there and I'll stomp that down. I will make away many, mean he gonna kill him with destruction of nuclear weapons. He says great fury to destroy. So this is where we're coming into a time, y'all, where we're about to see this, and it's gonna freak a lot of people out. A lot of y'all are gonna think that this is the end, that we about to, that the world's about to go to nuclear war and everyone's gonna die. But no, this is showing that he's gonna come out victorious, and then when he has put down all his enemies, then the final battle takes place, where the Most High and his army comes against the God of forces.